are live with another episode of Comic Talk. It's that show brought to you by the Keeg where we talk about this week's new comic book releases. For those of you who don't know, new comic books come out at your local comic shop every single Wednesday. Every single Wednesday is new comic book day. Doesn't matter whether they're DC Comics, Marvel Comics, Indie Comics, they all come out on Wednesdays, and we go live every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Keeg Show to go over everything that came out this week, no matter what the company, publisher was, whatever. Everything that we could read in 24 hours, we are covering on this show today on Comic Talk. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and yeah, if you're watching us live, you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show. Or maybe you're listening to the podcast on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. But no matter where you're watching us and or digesting us, like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review. Let us know you're out there. If you're watching us live, hop in the chat. Let us know, what you thought about the comics this week. And yes, if you're watching us live, you can see who our guests are. It's not just me yapping away. No. In fact, we got two guests here. First, Virgo Blade, aka Ethan. Ethan, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be here, ready to talk some comics. This was a very great week. It was better than I expected it to be.
So, that's leading me to my next question for you. How was this week in comics, slacked or stacked?
Definitely stacked. And it's funny because, after our last time that we talked about this, and we talked about, is it about the amount versus, quality? And so this week, even though it's I don't think these were all of my favorite titles, but multiple titles exceeded my expectations. And so that's why I feel like it's stacked, but it's like a surprise stacked.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
So, 1 to 10, what would you grade it?
I'd almost want to give it a 9.5. Which is the highest
that
I've ever given a score. I feel like highest before was 9, but I feel like because there were some titles that I've kind of been it's good, but some elevated. So because of that, I'd give it a 9.5.
That's crazy high. I don't know whether we've ever gotten something that high because there's always something about the week,
If we're being honest, a lot of it has to do with Static. My boy Static is coming back. So
okay,
a little bit biased, but I'm owning it.
Yeah, I will. We're definitely going to get to that. But okay, cool. 9.5 out of 10. We also got Drew X Deficit, aka Drew, aka Starro the Conqueror. For anyone watching us live,
Starroed.
Is it reversible? Because in the Suicide Squad, it's not reversible. But can you take Starro off your face without ripping your face off?
I can. There we go.
That wasn't me being passive aggressive. That was me just wondering what's in continuity in this real world Starro.
There we go. I got it off. I'm safe.
For people listening to the podcast, they're like, I don't know what's going on over there. And then people watching us on, youtube.com/The Keeg Show, you could see a plushy Starro attached to Drew's face. Where'd you get that?
DC sent that to me because Starro was the villain in the video game that I wrote for them.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. I still need to get that signed.
I legitimately forgot that I had it, and I just saw it sitting up here. Because I decided to put my comics that I'm going to talk about back here. I've been doing some organizing lately, and it's a little bit more put together around
the production value. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, you get it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but yeah, to answer the questions that you haven't gotten a chance to ask me yet because I have been talking through them.
Yeah,
I would say that it was stacked. I would give it an 8.654.
8.654. Okay.
Yes.
That is I'm wondering why it didn't earn an 8.655, but it was better than an 8.653.
It's just them's the vibes.
Yeah, you're right. And sometimes vibes are very particular,
Vibes are I think that vibes are important when ranking things. I think vibes are important when measuring while you're cooking. For some things. Spices, yes. Liquids that you're putting into stuff, maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, your vibes are like to the fourth significant figure. You know? That's
I mean, I'm very thorough and specific.
Yeah. So well, thank you for bringing that, bringing that here to us here on this show.
Man, I listen, I can see myself in the little preview video there. I know that I'm a very average looking guy. I got to be above average personality.
That's not true.
That's not true. That's not true.
I got to do something to set myself apart.
So why not attach Starro to your face?
Let me turn the tables on you, Drew. You think you're on this show because you have a good personality? Let me just put it this way: if this was not just if this didn't have a live stream component, if it was just a podcast, you would not be on this show.
You'd never ask me?
No.
I get it. I understand.
It's just for the live stream capabilities.
I understand. I get it.
That's it. So, thanks for being a well-rounded guest here on this show.
I try. I do my best.
For anyone who wants to see Drew in real life, we got San Diego Comic-Con coming up.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm trying to see if I can challenge anyone who doesn't like my opinions to come and fight me. That's always been my thing.
Physically or verbally?
Physically.
Oh, okay.
Physically, yeah. I've anytime like I have a band that goes on tour, I always say that, like, hey, if I'm gonna be in your city and maybe you don't like what I've said about Batman, well, do something about it.
Okay.
Very aggressive.
As long as it's on your time and not during our Comics for Education panel.
No, yeah, don't mess up the library. But like, if you want to meet me right in front of the train crossing at the convention center, or shoot, in front of the pirate ship on the marina.
He said, "Pull up."
Okay.
With your
exactly.
opinions.
Like, I'll be there. Let me go through the lanterns experience first, and then after that, I'll make your brightest day into your blackest night.
Ooh.
Okay, these are weird, like very geek specific like threats. And I like it, and it only works at getting in a fight at Comic-Con. Like it only works in that respect. Shout out to Deanna Kinney in our chat, also a member of the Comic Talk crew, not on tonight, but also going to be there at San Diego Comic-Con. Deanna says, if me and my gang pull up. Okay, yeah. I don't know whether that's saying we're part of her gang or her gang versus Drew. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see what happens. She lives in Switzerland, right? I mean, it's going to be a very neutral fight.
Yeah, but except she's coming to America and she's going to pick up our ways.
I'll show her what America is really like.
Uh-oh.
Which really just means that I'm going to, I don't know, do karaoke.
Which is Japanese of origin, but yes, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, America steals. That's
Yeah,
exactly. That's what we do. We say, hey, what is that, spaghetti? That's mine now.
Yeah. Dare I say we make it better? Who knows? Who's to say? In Italy, do they make you stop with the cheese grater? Or can you keep going unlimited?
I don't know.
I've cheese,
I've never been out of this country because, why would you want to?
Yeah, you're right.
Imagine that everything that I'm saying right now is somebody's first impression of me.
Yeah. We're gonna move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
But yes, if anyone from out of the country wants to come to this country just to fight Drew, you could find him at I'm gonna show this slide at San Diego Comic-Con, at our Comics for Education panel at San Diego Comic-Con on the Sunday of July 26th or whatever.
July 26th, 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Before that, we have another panel that we're doing. It's a different group of panelists, but you may know Joshua Ling from Comic Talk. We're doing 90s cartoon draft, and that is the less educational, more, chaotic panel that we're doing. So that's Sunday, July 26th at 10 a.m. At San Diego Comic-Con. So, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. But for the purpose of this show, Deanna says, I'll be there first row just to catch you, Drew.
I'm looking forward to it. That'll be like last year when we did the panel. Michael the librarian came to the panel, and that was a celebrity sighting. Seeing the one and only Deanna Kinney. That's gonna be who's Michael? Am I right?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I want to say though, last year at San Diego Comic-Con, we saw Michael the librarian come to our panel, which is funny because in the span of a couple months, I met 2 hosts of Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, okay, cool. LeVar Burton later on Trivial Pursuit. So
this is speaking of celebrities at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
This is a story I don't think I told you this because I don't know that you would know who this person is.
Okay.
But the Saturday of Comic-Con, when I was leaving last year, like the show floor was over, so everybody was leaving. Right in front of me was Kerry King, the guitarist of Slayer. And like he has a very recognizable back of his head tattoo, and I was just like, "Holy crap!" Like I've seen the picture of that tattoo so many times, and I tried to talk to him just to say like, "Hey man, good to see you," or something like I don't know, whatever. And somebody who was with him was just like, "Nah, don't talk to him."
Oh,
and I was like, "I respect that."
Okay, well,
but it was very cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was walking. I was on the street walking behind Robert Kirkman, and I said hi, and like, but I'm always like, I don't want to bother you, but like, great stuff, dude. Like I'm like, I don't want to take up your time, but whatever. Anyway, yes, San Diego Comic-Con, definitely, stroll by if you guys are in the area. But as far as Comic Talk is for today, let's go over our lists of the books that we read this week, and then we'll hit our picks of the week, attorneys general, and then we'll hit all the other comics that we read this week. So who wants to go first with their list?
I'll go.
Cool. Ethan
so
first.
Got Nightwing issue 140, New Titans issue 37, Absolute Green Arrow issue number 3, Absolute Flash issue 17, Batwoman issue 5, Fantastic Four issue 14, Captain America issue 13, and Avengers Armageddon issue 2. Oh wait, sorry, and X-Men 33. I thought that was the end. X-Men 33.
And then X-Men 33. Awesome.
Yes.
Good list. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Drew, you want to go next?
Myself.
You should.
All
I mean, that not only is that good in number, it's like quantity and quality. So
that part. Exactly.
If anyone's out there, let us know what you thought about Ethan's reading list. And then, Drew and mine later. Drew, what's yours?
I'll start. My DC list was Batwoman, number 5. I got Absolute Flash, number 17. I got Absolute Green Arrow, number 3. I got Absolute Green Lantern, number 16.
Was that a previous week?
Huh?
I think that's previous week. But yeah, continue.
Was that from a previous week?
Yeah. But that's okay. Is it the cover with Sinestro holding Tomar Ray and Joe? Yeah. It's like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Weird. That it was in my pull list this week. I got Nightwing 140. I got Wonder Woman 35. From Marvel, I picked up a couple Marvel books, but I only got to Captain America 13. I did not get to Avengers Armageddon, number 2, unfortunately.
Okay.
Then from Image, I got If Destruction Be Our Lot, number 3, and Super Creep Show, number 5. Unfortunately, did not get to, like I said, Avengers Armageddon, Deathstroke #5, Of the Earth #3, which I'm really bummed out because I did want to read that, and Assorted Crisis Events #9, another one I'm kicking myself for not having read in time to talk about it on the show.
That's fair. I'm sorry you didn't get to it, but we all hold ourselves to such a high standard. We're never going to get to 100% of the comics. Wait, Ethan, did you get 100% of the comics that you wanted to read?
I did not. I didn't get to Superman Unlimited, but I was happy that I got through as much as I did.
Okay. Sounds good. There's some books that I was surprised that you guys didn't read, but we'll get to it. What did I read? I read Absolute Green Arrow 3. And by the way, there are things on this, or not on this list, that I did get and I didn't get to read it. And it's like, oh, God damn it. So Absolute Green Arrow 3, Nightwing 140, Superman Unlimited 15, Avengers Armageddon 2, Wonder Woman 35, Battle Beast 11, X-Men 33, New Titans 37, Dark Knights of Steel 2, number 1, Inglorious X-Force 7, What If Jessica Jones, and Sonic X Godzilla issue number 1. Yeah.
Cool. Good list.
Yeah, thanks. There was others that I wish I got to, but I'm falling behind.
It happens.
Yeah, but I need to dedicate some time on the weekend to catch up, but it all comes down to, like, you know, how much time do we got? So we do the best we can. Who here, and I know your guys' picks of the week, but the question is who, did you guys have it really easy? Like, was it just easy to choose a pick of the week this week? Or was it hard? Were there a lot of contenders for that spot, that coveted position?
It was hard, mainly for the surprise factor. I feel like Captain America, and I think we talked about this before when I was last on, it's like Captain America is kind of like the easy pick. So that's why, I chose it as my number 1. At the same time, last issue, I didn't love as much as I thought that I did. So this issue, I actually liked more than the previous issue. I think maybe because I adjusted my expectations. Cool. Versus some other books that I didn't necessarily love that have now kind of crossed over into a higher sphere of interest. And so it's like, do I choose based on like, oh, this has been consistent in quality versus these ones surprised me?
Okay. So you want to introduce your pick of the week then?
Sure. With that being said, my pick of the week is, drum roll, please. Thank you. My pick of the week is Captain America issue 13. Surprise, surprise. But as I said before, last issue I didn't love as much as I thought that I did. And to be fair, yes, this seems like an easy pick. At the same time, it's like my expectations are higher for the books that I actually love. So like a great issue of Absolute Wonder Woman might not be as good as the most tremendous issue. So it has like a different kind of like adjustment period where it's all relative based on how good the comic is. So,
is that fair to the comic though? Because almost like that's what a lot of Absolute DC books are going through right now, is the fact that they're all really good and you just end up comparing them either to other good but not quite as good Absolute DC books, or the better issues of that series get compared to each other, and then it's like,
But I think too, the pick of the week isn't necessarily the best thing. It's the one that left the biggest impact on you, the biggest positive impact on you. That's always the way that I've kind of addressed it. Because like anytime an issue of Saga comes out, for example, like Saga is a consistently great book, and it has been for like 12 years now, something like that. When I think about like, oh, my favorite comics that have come out over the last year or something like that, I might not put Saga at the top because I know that it's really good, but now I'm living in that space where like, yeah, it's really good. Everybody knows that, So I might push towards something that's like, this one just like affected me more, and maybe it's because it's new, maybe it's because
the subject matter just in that issue, maybe
right. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of what stands out the most that week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has the
Sorry if
most
I cut
impact
off
on you.
Ethan, but I'll let you continue.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, chose Captain America issue 13. It kind of like fixed the issues, and not really issues, but kind of like my own ones from what I wanted from the previous issue, which is that I really felt Captain America in hell, fighting for what's right, even in the most horrible of places. And I felt that more this issue. Maybe it's the Doctor Doom of it, or the fact that like Red Skull being his evil self, not believing that he belongs in hell, knowing full well that he does. He belongs in the hottest pit of hell. And so, but seeing Captain America's strength through it all and how they're trying to like raise him up as this leader, but he's so humble that he doesn't want it, even though he obviously is. I just love his endearing spirit of fighting for justice, fighting for bullies, fighting against bullies, and just feeling like no matter what the situation is, he will power through it and try to do what's right. Like, and I feel like this issue specifically had a theme of righteousness that really stood out in a place like hell. It's kind of the contrast between both of these things. It's like you still feel safe with Steve's light in this hell world. And so I really felt the impact of it this issue and working with Doctor Doom. There was a cool Spider-Man cameo as well as he's like looking over Steve as to allow Sharon to take a break. I like those nice personal moments in between the, you know, higher concept elements as well. So overall, this was just a very strong issue. Maintains the quality. It was great fighting sequences and also very moving.
I read the previous issue. I read up to issue 12. I just didn't get to read this one this week. And I was looking forward to it because it's Captain America versus Red Skull in hell. That being said, in this issue, I mean, tell me, in this issue, Captain America doesn't think that Red Skull deserves eternal torment?
I mean, I don't think that he necessarily specifically addresses it. I think it's more like he's caring about the people who are in hell who want to do better. And there's this whole thing of like people like uplifting him. Like, I don't think that he would say, "Oh, Red Skull doesn't belong in hell," because he even wonders. He's like, if the people are here, are they not meant to be here? But also, if that's the case, why was he sent here? And so, to me, not to this might sound controversial, not to compare him to Jesus Christ, but it also kind of feels of that similar concept to where it's like Jesus had to come to earth. He was half mortal, half God, and like go through these trials and to do things differently to teach humanity for that change to happen. So that's what like my mind connected to was like almost something biblical. Like, well, there is a reason why he's here, so he should follow his intuition, and perhaps he is here to even lead souls through damnation into the other side to allow them to have another chance.
This run's getting crazy. It's Chip Zdarsky. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't think we'd end up here, but I love it when it's a very dramatic surprise, but it still maintains that same level of quality.
Yeah. Drew, did you read this one?
I did. I very similar thoughts to what Ethan is saying. I like Captain America a lot. One of my favorite Marvel characters, by like top 3 for me. And for me, Captain America, I think always works best, and to a degree, he's always going to be this, but he always works best when they really hone in on he is his story, what's going on with him, whatever, is like representative of what's happening in like American society at the moment that it's being written.
Yeah.
And so when you take him and you start putting him into like more supernatural stuff, that is where I tend to like fall off of it a little bit. But I at the same time, I do think that this issue was a lot stronger than the last one, and it had a lot more to say than the last one. And it kind of feels like it is falling into place of like what is this trying to say about American society? You know, it's the symbol of America going through hell, like, and in the real world, or in like on Earth, he's comatose.
Yeah.
And so, like,
because he's not dead. For anyone not reading this but wants to read it, technically, yeah, he's not dead. He's
comatose, and his spirit is in hell, which I think, hey, you can. There's a lot of literary ways that you could interpret that. I did like the Spider-Man moment a lot. I thought that was cool. I really liked another thing, Ethan, you touched on. The moment when Red Skull is like surprised that he's there, because he's so convinced that like what he was doing was right and good, and godly, that he does not understand that like what the Nazis did and what he did was evil, and therefore he earned that place in hell. I thought that was a like a nice little poignant moment, that also just like, I think that would ring true for somebody who believed so strongly in that kind of cause. They would be like, where did I go wrong? I did all the right stuff.
I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, it's like somebody who's that far gone wouldn't understand the consequence.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was, I thought it was cool. I liked it better than the last one. I will say that I want it to go back to Earth.
Yeah.
Because, I like, that's where I'm comfortable with my Captain America, but I also think that sometimes a good writer can take something that is uncomfortable and shake it up and make it good, do something with it. And Zdarsky can do that. He's a good writer.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel where you're coming from, just because it's like when I read Spider-Man and he went into space, like I don't really like my Spider-Man in space doing like Guardians of the Galaxy style adventures. With Captain America, I feel very much like you in terms of like, dealing with the political climate and the social commentary. To me, that is like Captain America's strong suit. And at the same time, I feel like I enjoy that, like, he's a strong enough character to be able to transition into other phases, because we all know he's coming back to do those stories. And also, it's been so steeped in the like politics of from 9/11 to today, and so it kind of felt like a nice reprieve to where like, oh, we'll take this break before going back to it. On top of that, Avengers Armageddon feels like a companion piece, so I'm still getting like the political commentary through David Colton, this character who was at the beginning of the Captain America series. So I think maybe if I didn't have that, I'd probably be in the same boat of like, okay, let's get back to the Earth, issues in the hell that is planet Earth.
And
versus versus
definitely
what they
like
decided to do.
Like at the same time, Captain America is a superhero. Superheroes are elastic. They can do things like go through hell, right? And so what this is doing is kind of, this shows you, kind of reaffirms, yes, he is a superhero character. He's not just like a soldier. And even no matter what you do with Captain America, because he is Captain America, there's always going to be some kind of like proximity to that social commentary. So like, yeah, I mean, it is I think in a lesser writer's hands, this would not work for me, but it does, for all the reasons that you're saying. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Chip's doing such a great job.
Yeah. I was gonna say that he's writing Avengers Armageddon, so like I get that, and then this, it's cool. Like, Drew, do you have a easy pick of the week?
I don't know how easy it is, but I know what it is.
Okay. Why don't you intro it?
Yeah. So my pick of the week is Nightwing number. Is that 140?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nightwing number 140. My pick of the week is Nightwing number 140. By Dan Watters and Dennis Cowan, continuing their. This is going to be, I mean, this is such an interesting companion to what we were just talking about in Captain America, because Nightwing is not a character that I expect to be dealing with supernatural stuff. And in a lot of ways, I'm a little adverse to putting somebody like Nightwing into like a supernatural story. But this is just like Dan Waters, as far as story goes, he's found the sauce. Like it's the secret mixture of like how to root it in a supernatural folk horror story, but it is still like street level. It's definitely like this is Nightwing. It's got that detective element. So it even has kind of like an old school pulpy feel to it.
Mm.
And that works really well with I have been saying since Dennis Cowan took over art duties on this book. This is the best Dennis Cowan art maybe that I've ever seen. It is so good. And like when you look at his career, the fact that he has this huge career, incredibly like he's an incredibly gifted artist. He's done so much and all this great stuff. And this late into his career, he's doing like some of the best work he's ever done. That's a testament to him as an artist. I also think that it just the combination of like Dennis Cowan and Norm Rapmund on pencils and inks is perfect for the story that's being told. It has that kind of like pulpy, uh, uh, supernatural feel to it. It's very moody. It's great. And the story that's being told in the story arc that we're in right now is it's about a highway that's erected going through Bloodhaven,
Like right
um,
through him, right through the city.
right through the middle of it. And um, it starts with like a car accident. Um, there's a woman claiming to be like a witch who has been uh, the highway like uh,
Ghost
uh,
hitchhiker person.
yeah, it like disturbed her slumber and it disturbed her space. Um, Nightwing is trying to essentially he's investigating this to find out like what exactly is happening. This issue uh continues that and we find out exactly like how the highway plays a part in this,
Mm.
why like it is the cause of all this stuff. We get to see uh a villain that we haven't seen in a long time, the Psycho Pirate.
Oh,
Um,
huh.
uh, is not a huge part of it, but he's in this.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I mean, this is just like it is this really cool space between a supernatural horror, a superhero story, like a classic DC Comics like big universe story, but also like street level. And it's really, really good. I am just like I'm loving this run. This is like my favorite Nightwing stuff in a very long time.
Ethan, did you read this one?
I did, and I pretty much echo Drew's same sentiments in that this
Okay, so
feels.
moving on.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. No.
like wow. um, yeah, like to me, it feels almost like reading a classic Nightwing story from like the '90s or even like a Detective Comics. Like it doesn't even feel of this era, in that it feels like timeless classic. Like, and I haven't felt that way in a very long time because I feel like comics, they have their own feel nowadays. Not anything negative. It's just different. But that
Yeah.
for some reason feels like it like defies time itself. It just feels like a very solid story that I'm gonna like look back and remember this story as being like a very iconic, almost turning point for the character. It feels steeped in Bloodhaven lore in a way that hasn't been really explored before. As Drew was also saying, was that it's like Nightwing hasn't operated oftentimes in like supernatural spaces. At the same time, it feels like almost a graduation of sorts because I compare it to Batman and Zor and R and how he has such a psychological battle alongside his reality based, social street level problems. Batman is kind of, as far in terms of my like times of where I've like been able to read Batman, has always been a psychological story as much as a crime story. So he's always operated in this very like supernatural metaphysical space.
Mm.
And Nightwing, to my knowledge, hasn't done that quite as much, mainly because he's a more sane person. So this allows him to kind of almost break down his moral structure because of the guilt he feels about what took place, and then allows that kind of like breakage to open up something else in him to explore this other supernatural area of like something that he's now open to because he's having to kind of deal with this identity crisis and rediscover himself along with the city.
I'm just smiling for identity crisis. No,
Yes.
no pun intended for that. Yeah, I'm a couple of issues behind on this, but I started this whole highway arc, but I didn't get to like I'm a couple of issues behind.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'll just say a couple things and we'll move on. But I have liked what they've been doing with this arc. I don't like supernatural Gotham, but I think that like folksy supernatural Bloodhaven works for me. And like it sounds weird, but it is. That being said, like Nightwing fights Trigon the demon in Titans, right? And like in that type of stuff. Not to mention literally new Titans this week. And like it doesn't seem out of place when he does that with the Teen Titans, but in Bloodhaven it seems out of place if a demon just pops up, like a huge skyscraper demon pops up in Bloodhaven. And I don't necessarily like that. But like this has been really cool from what I've read. And I will say, and I looked up the preview pages for this issue because I didn't get to read this issue. Dennis Cowan's art, I didn't realize it's the Dennis Cowan from Static from back in the day.
Icon.
And his, are you saying he drew Icon or he is an icon?
I'm saying he is an icon.
All these puns, it's like you can't get around it, you know? And so like, and you can just tell how his art is like cleaned up and transcended. It was great back then, and it's even like even more now. And then also I was gonna say that DC almost doesn't have a house style anymore. Like when people talk about like, let's just say like Cartoon Network cartoons having a house style, and you can make an argument for like Marvel having a house style, but like in this new DC all-in era, DC doesn't have a house style. I'll argue that.
That's one of the things that you know, when Scott Snyder announced All In and like really kind of pushed for it way back when, a couple years back, he was essentially like saying like the goal here is to give writers and artists this freedom to be able to make the books they want to make. And I know that there's like obviously like there's going to be editorial stuff involved with it, but I mean like from All In to Next Level, like there has been a shift in the energy at DC Comics, and you can feel it in the books. Like even the stuff that like I read and maybe it's not my thing, like I'll give like an issue a chance or something like that, and it's not my thing, I can still like see, number one, that it's quality and it doesn't feel like it's trying to adhere to any one thing. And yeah, I mean it's great. It's just it's really good. It's a good time to be a DC fan.
I'm so excited just even talking about it because I'm thinking in my head of like all the shit they've been doing lately. It's like, yeah, it is a great time. Ethan, were you gonna say something?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that it goes back to the vibe, and I like when comics, superhero worlds have their own vibe. It's like I don't need, the Batman book to feel like the, Zatanna book. Like that should have a different vibe and feel to it so that it transports you to this specific story versus a house style, which I'm sure there's something to be said for that. Kind of maintaining quality control. At the same time, you don't get that originality. You don't get that kind of artistic integrity where they get to play around and do things. Like I love, for example, Hayden Sherman's like layouts, like the panel layouts,
Mhm.
are some of my favorites that I've ever seen. Like I could just appreciate the comic, and I'm not fully like I appreciate the artist, but I'm more of a writer guy. Like I love good writing, and I can deal with not the best art if I have a really great story. So really, when art truly grabs me, it kind of takes it even further and kind of deepens my appreciation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It all comes back to the vibe. Cisco Ramon.
All about the vibe. Cisco Ramon.
For some reason, these puns are just I don't know why I'm getting confused. Anyway, um, yeah. DC knows exactly what they're doing. It's a perfect bowl of Neapolitan ice cream right now. And none of the flavors are like bleeding into each other. They're very distinct, but they all belong in the bowl together. And like DC is doing quality control on like the ice cream itself. But like, you know, how it's working. Like, it's not Neapolitan ice cream that melts a little bit and then merges with each other and then gets frozen again. And like it gets kind of mixed up. It's not like that. And I love it. Anyway, let's see. I'm gonna switch to this. My pick of the week this week is Dark Knights of Steel 2, issue number 1 by Tom Taylor, art by Otto Schmidt. There was a lot of books out this week that I feel like I could have picked. A lot of them had like amazing moments. But this book, I've been waiting for the sequel to Dark Knights of Steel for a couple of years now. I don't know when the last one came out, 2024, 2023. There was the 12 issues of Dark Knights of Steel, and then there was another however many issues of the spin-off Dark Knights of Steel All Winter. And then this comes out. And it's really funny to me because this type of stuff surprises me. I'm not a Game of Thrones fan. I am like a Dungeons and Dragons fan to an extent because you can kind of like choose your own adventure. But swords and sorcery only goes so far. One of my biggest critiques is tends to be very Eurocentric. I don't really care about knights in shining armor. I'd rather see like Greek mythology or like mythology of other sorts. You know, the Odyssey comes out, very excited for that, right? But like with this, it's DC heroes, it's an Elseworlds tale, right? So it's an alternate timeline, alternate universe where, yeah, not an alternate timeline, alternate universe where anything goes. It's this complete reinvention of the DC universe with swords and sorcery, but it isn't like just a paint job on it like in the past. Like Justice Riders was like the Wild West Justice League. Elseworlds, it was like I forget what it was called, but the team was called like Justice Riders, and there were cowboys, and it was just like, what if the Justice League were cowboys? But in this, it's not just like, what if the Justice League were knights? It like the fundamental structure of this is different, and I love it. There are like multiple kingdoms. So there's the kingdom of El, which is Kal-El and his mother's kingdom. Spoiler alert. Then you have the kingdom of the Pierces, the Lightning Kingdom, Jefferson Pierce's kingdom, and then Amazonia. That's the third kingdom. And now they've created a League of Kingdoms. There's a lot of stuff going on, and like it's great for people who sort of have a cursory understanding of DC, but also like if you really look like deep enough, you will find the characters that exist in the DC universe that aren't like necessarily called out in this. I ate this one up. The only concern that I had for this, not because he's not a good artist, Otto Schmidt is a great artist, but Yasmin Putri was the artist on the original run, except for like 2 issues or so. And as far as I know, she's not doing interior art anymore. She does like variant covers now. And Otto Schmidt did DC versus Vampires, the other Tom Taylor Elseworlds book. And for me, in my head, they're kind of bleeding together in that way because it's still Otto Schmidt's art on 2 Tom Taylor Elseworld epics. That's my only thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are reading this.
I'm not. I haven't read. I have. When you were talking about that, I was looking back here. I got a stack of books that won't fit on the shelf, and one of them is the original Dark Knights of Steel that I have not read yet at all.
The first one?
No, I haven't read it at all. I read 3 issues of All Winter,
Yeah,
which I really liked. I liked
yeah.
that a lot. I don't know why I didn't continue with it. I'm sure that I like got them and they're just lost in the pile of comics that I have everywhere. Um,
There's a big
but
spoiler in All Winter that you only learn at the end of Dark Knights of Steel, or like close to the end of Dark Knights of Steel.
well, I don't know what it was.
All right, cool. All right.
But yeah, I mean, like, the guy who runs the comic shop that I work at and I pick my stuff up from, he loves it. He's always talking about it, and he's always telling me, "You got to get on it."
You got to get on it,
Um,
dude.
I know.
Yeah. So I read the first Dark Knights of Steel. I kind of have the opposite problem of you, Dimitri, because I love fantasy so much, from Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time. I love all that stuff. Like, I tend to be more critical of the fantasy genre. And so it's sometimes harder for me to get into it because it is good, but there are some things that feel a bit derivative. Um, that it takes me out of the story a bit, and I'm like kind of comparing it to these other epics, which, as we talked about before, might be unfair, but that's kind of my caveat with it. I enjoyed the first Dark Knights of Steel. It was really good, and I do want to read All Winter, and I feel like as it goes on, I'll probably enjoy it more.
I, yeah. I mean, understandable if you like fantasy as much as you do, that
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be seeing things that I'm not seeing, which means
Mm-hmm.
the cracks that I don't see. But like, I love the fact, and I'm sure you do too, the fact that like the Pierces have a kingdom.
Oh yeah, trust and believe. Like, like, but that's the thing. Like, I love lore. I love world building,
Yeah.
and I just felt like I needed more of that so that it could really feel lived in. I wanted that a bit more when it came to Dark Knights of Steel, so that it felt like a living, breathing kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, I know what Winterfell is. I know what the Shire is. Like, I know these worlds, and I feel like, and of course, it's hard with the page limit of a comic book and how
Mm.
much you can actually cover, but at the same time, I can't really divest from my expectation of what I want from my fantasy. So yes, like love, obviously, like the Pierces, like that's a dream. Like the Lightning Kingdom, like I want to read a book, I want to watch a TV show, inject that directly into my veins. But then the like fantasy critic in me is also like, I don't need a lot of like death all the time. I don't need kind of like shock moments. I need build up. But once again, it's a superhero genre. Big things have to happen, and that's the difficult balance between superheroes aren't a genre, but style of story
Yeah.
is you're merging these things, and you have to like pick and choose what works and what doesn't, and it's finding that right blend that really makes a story sing.
I definitely think this is the it's the sequel, and it is broadening the lore. So if you want more
Mm.
lore, go for it. I'm going to say a hot take right now, and that is I think Dark Knights of Steel should have been the DC animated series, not Absolute Batman.
Wow, shots fired.
I mean, I also think that Absolute Batman isn't necessarily my favorite idea to make into an animated series, and you didn't need it. Like I think like Absolute Superman or Absolute Wonder Woman could have been a better fit, but we all
I feel
are.
like they can expand from
Yeah,
absolute Batman.
yeah, yeah. But Dark
I'll tell
Knights
you
of
what they
Steel,
should.
what?
I was gonna say, uh, I'll tell you what, you finish what you were gonna say first, and then because
I'm just
I'm
saying
gonna
Dark
be
Knight of Steel would have been a cool animated series to have.
there's
I'm digging it.
first off, number one, I would put money on it. That in the next, I would say I would give myself a 5 year window.
5 years.
5 year window.
Okay.
In the next 5 years, they announced Dark Knights of Steel as an animated movie. Like
I
that's
love
gonna
that.
happen.
Animated
That'd be cool.
movie, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That will 100% happen. I think it'll happen soon. Um,
I hope it's an animated movie to lead us into a series. We need more of this world, is what I'm trying to say.
um, on the subject of just you were talking about absolute series that should get an animated series. If they if they wanted to make a lot of money, I mean, like they're gonna make a lot off Absolute Batman. It's whatever. You guys,
It all comes down to the merch. The merch is gonna be crazy.
You know
Oh,
my
yeah.
thoughts about like adaptations. I'm always just kind of like, let comics be comics.
Well,
whatever. But I know they've done it.
your argument is not that you're a grump. It's that you don't think that, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't think that adaptation equals legitimacy.
Yeah, I think that we as a fandom, and also just like as a country, I don't know, as a lot of people, we view this thing where it's like there's validation in the fact that it becomes animated and that it gets adapted, and I just don't care about that.
Yeah.
However, if they are going to adapt something and they want to make a lot of money, you get Gendy Tartakovsky to do Absolute Wonder Woman in the style of Primal. Like that's it. That's it right there.
That'd be fire.
I mean,
when I say style, I don't mean like it's got to be like gory and stuff like that. I just mean like that animation style.
Yeah.
I mean, really lean into it.
I mean, I would say Primal style is more Absolute Batman. Like, I don't think it's soft enough. Absolute Wonder Woman has like some hardcore stuff and then also very soft stuff.
That's why you do it that way. You got to have the juxtaposition.
Okay.
Like you have like, did you ever watch Metalocalypse?
No.
I remember that show.
You're familiar with it? Imagine like that art style, but it's Absolute Wonder Woman and she's up like convincing Medusa that what happened to her was wrong and it was a great injustice and she like deserves to be looked at. Like she deserves to be seen. Like I think that the juxtaposition of like how like that visual style with the softness of the story would be really cool. That's just me.
This is a different podcast episode that we'll do after San Diego Comic-Con's over because we don't have any time to fit in all that. But yes, your opinions are valid. We got to move on to.
And if you don't think they're valid, I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. You can fight me.
He really wants to fight.
I've never been in a fight before, and I'm about to be 40. I gotta live a little.
I have been in one fight before and it wasn't my fault and we're moving on. All right. That's all you get. So we got to hit everything else on our list in 15 minutes. So I wanted to bring up Superman Unlimited issue 15. This was like almost my pick of the week. It didn't complete the circle enough. That being said, the first couple pages on this are so epic. Like, I took pictures of the first couple pages. Ethan, you didn't read this one, but you wanted to, right?
Right.
Okay, and Drew, you didn't.
I dropped this one. I haven't.
That's fair. There was a reveal on who this Jonathan Kent is at the end of, I think, last issue, and so they're dealing with the ramifications of that. I guess, spoiler alert, I'll just say this small thing from last issue. This Jonathan Kent is not Jonathan Kent of Earth Prime. It's Jonathan Kent of Earth 3. So it's Ultraman and Superwoman's son. And I thought that was a great twist. And the beginning part of this issue worked really well. But if you're going to introduce Earth 3, I need more Earth 3 as like a concept. Like, I want an introduction of like, what's the Earth 3, flatline called. Like, I don't know. It's just random, but like, I just need something more. So I thought it was good. I just wish there was more Earth 3, but we'll get that sometime in the future, I'm assuming. There were some pretty kick-ass Damien moments. I'll say that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to read it soon once I get the chance to.
Ethan, take us to something else then.
All right, let's do New Titans because I want to talk about Static. But to be honest, like the whole issue might be my favorite issue of the whole run. Might be because of the Kid Devil, I mean Red Devil. I'm so used to calling him
Yeah.
Kid Devil. I still want to call him Kid Devil, so I'm going to. But it was from his POV. I love the flashback. I got a little kind of preview of Tim Drake Robin, my favorite character. So I love that they brought that back and like where he is mentally now, because before it was always this kind of like Blue Devil fanboy, and I actually like that he's spreading his wings, so to speak, and doing things on his own. He's much gruffer and tougher, but I still sense that innocent kid devil that's underneath it. But I like that he's not just repeating what he did before. He's also very powerful. He ends up like using this summoning spell. I'm like, this looks dope. Um, Also, it was just this was like what I wanted from this new team that took kind of a while to get here. We were kind of stuck in some like alternate virtual reality
I didn't
world
like
where
that
like
either. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like let's get this party going. So I feel like this feels like the true start. Like last issue was good, and then this issue was better in terms of like them operating as a team in Happy Harbor. You get to see Stephanie Brown lead the team, and then of course the 4-page preview for um, Static for Virgil Hawkins because he's coming back. He's joining the team next issue. Basically, it went over what we kind of already knew, which was the Dakota incident. He had to give up being a hero because of Lex Luthor's mandate of no superheroes allowed in or out, and so um, but also getting his perspective of that he hasn't been the same since that happened. Like honestly, like that breaks my heart. And then like when John Kent Superman comes, it's like that's what I love about comics is when I don't expect something to hit me particularly hard, but it's like who Static is and what he means to us, and him not being a hero for all that time, even though yes, it's a comic book, it's a story, but within continuity, within the story, that's what happened, and also in real life, that also is kind of what happened. Like he hasn't been in our lives consistently when we have wanted him to be. So it goes deeper than just this comic story. And so when John Kent comes and he's Superman and the light is shining behind him, allowing him to be a superhero again, like that got me in the feels. And that's why it's like this was very close, which is funny because it's towards the not at the very top of like comics that I like love, but it's good. But this issue to me was like the first time that I really fully enjoyed this story, and a lot of that has to do with Static and how he's coming back.
Yeah. I don't have anything to say. The art is great. The character moments are good. Exactly what people were complaining about a couple issues ago, that there's no change in everything, but like now there's change. I'm all
Yes,
for it.
we get some change.
Yeah.
It felt, no pun intended, static, but now it's static.
I can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait. I got this one because I was like, I need to put my support behind like, you know, very specific ones like Wonder Woman issue 35 written by Stephanie Williams. I was like, I want to put my money where my mouth is, right? Like,
Yeah, I got that one too.
yeah. I read it. I liked it. It wasn't really like my full cup of tea because it's kind of a flashback story. But Drew, did you read this one?
I did actually. I was if you said, "Hey, Drew, talk about something," that's what I was gonna pick. So that's nice segue. You're reading my mind. Yeah, I really liked this issue a lot. I think that, there is something to be said about like a flashback issue or, like something that's not necessarily driving the main plot forward. If this were like a cart or if this were a TV show, people might call this a filler episode. But like filler episodes can be really good. They can reveal a lot. They can teach you a lot about the character. They can highlight something that maybe when you gotta push the plot forward, you wouldn't be able to do. Um, it's a nice little like decompression of and well, one of the things like the last few issues of Wonder Woman in the Wonder War have been very like moving very quickly. Um, and so this is nice kind of take a breather, move back and get this little interesting story that serves a couple things. Number one, it lets it takes us to the next part of the Wonder War story. But it also lets Steve and Lizzie have their moments together. But it also puts Hippolyta back as like it establishes her as the original Wonder Woman again.
Well, there were
Which
other things that led New History of the DC Universe reintroduced that, and
sure,
then
yeah,
JSA Year One also had her in that.
which yeah, I should have read and I didn't.
It was good.
Yeah, that's I know that's what I hear.
Yeah.
But no, I really liked this issue a lot. Uh, Flashback or whatever, I didn't really care. I thought that it was full of some I thought it was full of cool moments. Showed a little bit more of what Themyscira is like. Um, Maybe if you're like a lifelong Wonder Woman reader, this is kind of just retreading stuff. And I've read a lot of Wonder Woman, but like not as much as a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So it's always cool to kind of, show me more of Themyscira. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I think the last the like the 2 issue story that Stephanie Williams did before, I thought it was fine. It To me, it kind of felt like editorial was like, hey, we got to put together 2 issues real quick, and it was just kind of very straightforward. Hey, here's what happened. I think that this one feels more planned, so she got more time to cook up something like really cool.
Yeah.
That's the way it felt to me anyway. It was a little bit more like rounded. It had cool moments with like character moments. I'm
Mhm.
really big on that. Steve's voice I think is really good in this. I think that you know the lesson that he's teaching Lizzie um is going to play into the larger plot for
Mhm.
sure. And I also thought that Clayton Henry's art was really good.
Yeah. Clayton Henry does really good art.
Mhm.
We gotta move on. We're gonna do like 20-second reviews of everything else on our list.
Right.
We gotta get through the rest of our list. Otherwise, we won't be able to talk about everything. Wait, real quick, Ethan, did you read Wonder Woman?
I did not,
Okay, just
but
want
I'm
to check.
gonna check out this issue.
Let's go over the 2 Absolute books this week. Absolute Flash 17, which I did not read. I'm a couple issues behind, but I'll let any of you guys talk if you want 20 seconds to talk about it.
Sure.
And I will take like
Wait.
3 seconds.
Mhm.
Jeff Lemire keeps making people say Grodd isn't a monkey, he's an ape. He has a tail, he's a monkey.
Oh, true. Yeah.
That's like it's like people keep saying, actually he's an ape. He has a tail. He's a
Yeah.
monkey.
Yeah, that is the difference. Ethan, you got
Yes. Love this issue. Love Grodd. Anytime that Grodd is in the story, I'm happy. I love this little monkey. Um, really love Wally and Linda's relationship and their dynamic. She adds something really fun to the story. The ending was very unfortunate. Once again, I feel so bad for little baby Grodd because of what happened. I won't spoil it, but it's
okay.
tragic.
Okay.
So yeah. But overall, this was a very fun issue. It ended sad, but also very emotional.
I
Okay.
feel like there was a lot of like when this book first started coming out of people being like, "Oh, well, it's just not that good." And I just disagree, and I think that this book is like where it is now is
Mhm.
just like making those people eat crow
Yeah.
because it's great. It's
I agree.
a fantastic book.
It
Yeah.
needed to pick up pace. Pun intended,
Ironically.
Yeah. All right, Absolute Green Arrow number 3. My quick review of this is I like it. It's good. I need to see where it's going. I'm trying to figure out whether it's pro. I don't know. I need to know the thesis. I need to figure that out. Like, what is it trying to say?
Yeah, I'll just quickly say that this probably would have been my number one pick. Um, there's not enough time to go into it, but because of what happened to Connor Hawk in the last issue, I feel some type of way about it. I hope I'm wrong in reading it incorrectly, with kind of Black POC queer representation. So I'll leave it at that. This was a good issue. Love like Roy Harper. Hopefully something happens with Connor Hawk. I'll just say that.
I think people are coming back from the dead, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what
um
I'm like. Fingers crossed, hoping
I,
for it.
I
Because
think I think
yeah,
people are faking their deaths and coming back from the dead and all this stuff. Like I think, yeah.
but they
yeah,
bring up Miraclo, so I feel like they're kind of doing a Lazarus Pit Miraclo sort of thing. So
mm-hmm.
we'll see. Batwoman number 5, quick review.
Real quick, this was my favorite issue of the series. Kind of going back to what we were saying before, it's like it's always been very good, but my bar for Greg Rucka is extremely high. He to me is one of the best writers, just on a purely technical level. Um, how he gets into characters and what and how well he knows Kate Kane. So going into this, I couldn't help but compare it to his original Batwoman run, and to me, it hasn't really reached it, which once again is unfair, but it is what it is. This issue, I don't know if it's also because I had the Interstellar soundtrack playing as well, and now very like heightened emotions, but like with you know her sister and how the like manipulation of it and how she breaks free, it really got to me in a way that no previous issue did. So I really loved it.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Greg Rucka. I also want to always, any chance I get, I want to highlight Danny's art. She's like my favorite artist working in comics right now. Everything that she does, just it looks awesome. Um, yeah, and I mean, I'm loving the stuff of like, it's not a huge part of the book, but I love the idea of this like cult built around Darkseid just being like it is part of the book, but it's not like the main thing. But it's like that's just such a cool little like world building thing that would exist in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, Avengers Armageddon issue number 2. I read this one. It kind of is going where I thought it was gonna go, but it's still giving me surprises, so I like it. We shall see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is going where I thought it was going to go. At the same time, I didn't think we'd get here so quickly with kind of David Colton. I'm like, oh, like next page, I'm flipping over and I'm like, oh, he's doing that. And that definitely escalates things, heightens things. This was a solid issue. Maybe liked it better than even the previous one. But yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Did any of you guys read Fantastic Four number 14?
I did.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
What'd you think?
Really loved this as well. I love like Fantastic Four kids, like Junior Fantastic Four, and they're solving this problem, and him having to like think back about like the lesson that he was told, and also like I'm a fan of like evolution and how it's almost like a fearful symmetry of like why things are the way that they are and why they evolve, but also some things evolve and then purely by accident they affect something else. Don't ask me why I find that stuff interesting, but I just do. And so the fact that he was able to kind of almost like deconstruct that concept to figure out what's going on with why the whole adult world, like people who are looking at this pi number, are freezing, and then how they have to solve it by adjusting it. Like I love stuff like that. Like it's a very like minute detail, but it really brings the story to life.
For any fans of science in their science fiction, Ryan North as a writer does really well. So Fantastic Four, and he's also writing The Flash over at DC. So he's writing one book at each company where they're both very sciencey. So people who are science nerds, or if you like Star Trek or Twilight Zone or like whatever, like this is definitely the vibe for you.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned evolution, so I'll just talk real quick about X-Men 33, which I think maybe Ethan read this one as well.
Yeah, I do.
I'm liking where it's picking up. So not much more to it than that. Than the team itself in these last couple issues, the science team has been a really like spot on team without the normal like people that you would like. Cyclops is not part of it. So
Yeah.
like I like this team.
Yeah, same. And I love that Magneto is getting more active. Like I live for like I need him to do more, and that's what he's doing now. He's like being Magneto, just like, yeah, I'm gonna end him if this doesn't work out. I'm like I love that Magneto. I think it's also like kind of Doctor Doom fatigue a bit, Like, let's have Magneto do something. Also, really cool of Quentin Quire and Ben Liu being in that mindscape. I love kind of like the trippy, psychedelic explorations of the mind.
Yeah. Also, Magneto is nice about it. He's like, look, I'll give you 1 minute. And if you can't solve it in 1 minute, then I'll kill him.
Exactly.
I don't
That's
want to
him
kill
being-
him, but if
Right.
it's a danger to everybody, I'll do it if I have to, you know?
Yeah, he's being very rational about it.
Yeah. Assorted Crisis Events number 9. Drew, you didn't read it, right?
I didn't get to it.
Okay.
I need to. I mean, this book is so good.
Okay. And Ethan,
I'm a
you didn't
few
read this
issues
one, right?
behind. I'm a few issues behind.
Yeah. Batman Superman World's Finest 53.
Didn't get to that one.
Yeah. Deathstroke number 5.
Haven't gotten to it
No.
yet.
End of
Like,
Life
2
6.
issues behind. Which one?
End of Life from DC Vertigo.
Haven't gotten to it yet.
started that
Okay.
yet.
That's fair. If Destruction Be Our Lot number 3. Drew,
Did read that.
you got 20 seconds though. Because
I got 20 seconds.
Yeah.
This book moves very quickly. So I mean, it's easy to. The story's moving forward, but like, it's moving forward very quickly. That's it. I mean, there's details are haven't gotten here yet.
Okay.
Put it that
Pacing
way.
issue.
Issue 1 was good. So I need to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
Super Creep Show 5. I think that was a Drew pick.
I did. Yeah. These, it's a horror anthology where everything is related to superpowers, and every issue has 2 creative teams doing short stories. I pick them up when I like someone on the creative team. So this one had Ram V and Riccardo Berchielli doing a really interesting story about like a superhero who used to exist and doesn't anymore. It was cool. That's it. I mean, they're not long enough to be able to get very like super deep or anything like that, but they're fun exercises.
Yeah. That's the way I feel about Cruel Universe. It's like I love the book, but it's an anthology book full of like 3 stories each, so it's kind of tough. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder number 10. You read that one?
Picked it up, didn't read it.
Okay.
I'm behind. I'm like 4 or 5 issues behind on that one.
Okay. Did anyone else read Battle Beast number 11?
No.
Okay. I read Battle Beast number 11. It's been fun. Essentially, this is the issue, although it started a couple of issues ago, this is the issue of Conquest versus Battle Beast. And you really get to know the personalities of both and how it works when they fight each other. I think this is the issue for that. That's all I'll say. If you like Invincible, if you like all that stuff, there's enough blood and gore and Conquest versus Battle Beast to go around. This is the issue number 11. Inglorious X-Force, issue number 7. I love this team. That's all I'll say. It's a really cool team. Miss Marvel's on it, and there's some really interesting stuff with Domino and her luck power. Even though she has amnesia, her luck power is still working. And there's some comeuppance for certain mutant haters out there. We also got What If Jessica Jones. It's pretty much Jessica Jones if she got bit by the radioactive spider. Peter Parker doesn't get bitten, so Jessica Jones has a career as Spider-Girl and then stops. So it is it's fine. It's a good book, but also you could skip it if you want to, because it probably goes exactly how you would think it would go. And then last on my list was Sonic X Godzilla. Way better than I thought it was going to be. It was very cartoony in a good way. It has to be. And it's really, in this issue, Dr. Robotnik and Sonic versus Mechagodzilla and Mothra. So there's kind of a 4-way battle going on at the same time. It's fun. If you like those 2 characters, definitely pick that one up. That one's by IDW. So that's pretty cool. I think that's all the books that we read this week, right?
Yep. That's it for me.
Good for me.
Cool. A lot of books came out this week. Obviously, we our eyes were bigger than our stomach. We didn't necessarily get to everything. That being said, we talked about everything that we did read. And obviously, there are other books that we do recommend that we didn't get to read this week. And anyone out there who wants to go pick any of these books up, Go to map.comicshopmap.com, find a comic shop near you, pick up any of these books that we were talking about, and support your local comic shops. Before we get going, thank you both of you so much for coming on this show Thursday after Thursday after Thursday after Thursday, and taking time out of your night to be here. Before we get going, Ethan, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Cool. I'm Virgo Blade. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Talking comics, movies, TV shows. I'm covering House of the Dragon right now, my adventures with Superman, The Vampire Lestat, all that good stuff. So come check me out.
First thing, you do great content. Second thing, everything you talked about was cool. So
Thank you. Appreciate
I'm
it.
excited to see more. My Adventure with Superman is so good.
So good.
So good. Ethan, thank you so much for coming on this.
No problem.
Drew, same for you. Where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Sure. You can find me pretty much everywhere. Drew X Deficit. You'll find me around there talking about comics, whatever. Speaking of comics, if you're like, hey, these comics are too long, I can't read all of them every week. I got these mini comics that I've been doing. These are based on my thought exercise of what if the Punisher was explicitly a left-wing character. What would that look like? They're 4 to 5 pages each. I also throw the scripts in there, so you can grab those. I got prints of my poetry comics that these are 11 by 17. It's just a poem that I wrote, illustrated by a bunch of really great comic artists. So this is the first one. Probably do more eventually. And you can find all those online as well. If you want to print, I can get you those. I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con if anybody wants to fight. I'll be doing a panel on the 26th with Dimithri, talking about using comics in the classroom. Columbus, Ohio, I'll be playing a show there with one of my bands on April 15th. Hopefully gonna have something on the 14th and something on the 16th as well, but that's up in the air, and it's been really hard to book stuff. So that's it. That's all I'll say. And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
If anyone wants to find me personally, I'm trying to do more stuff on my like personal TikTok and Instagram at This Is Dimithri. If you want to find me personally, if you want to find the Keeg and all the shows that we do, Comic Talk is just one of the many shows that we do, but it is the most consistent, most reliable show. I love Comic Talk. I love having you guys on, and I think that, for people who want to keep up with comics, Comic Talk is the place to be. But the Keeg, you can find us on social media at The Keeg Show on TikTok and Instagram. Those are our two biggest ones. We're also on Threads and Blue Sky and Facebook and all that. At The Keeg Show / The Keeg Show, wherever you can find The Keeg. If you want to give back to The Keeg and it not cost you anything, like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review, help us out. Maybe you're watching this on youtube.com / The Keeg Show. Follow us there, like us there, whatever. Or maybe you're listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Again, support us in any way that doesn't cost you any money. That's awesome. We definitely look forward to having you guys, be a part of this. But if you want to support us, go to patreon.com / The Keeg Show. Subscribe to a tier. Watch our drunk episode. We got one drunk episode out. We'll probably do another one. We might, we'll make some announcements after Comic-Con. And then also, if you subscribe to a tier there, you get a free Keeg shirt in the mail. So, if that's, if you want some Keeg merch, definitely check that out. We're going to be at Comic-Con all of the days of Comic-Con, but as far as panels are concerned, the Keeg is producing 2 panels, one of which, let's go first. 90s Cartoon Draft. That is Sunday, July 26th, 10 a.m. at the Neil Morgan Auditorium at San Diego Comic-Con, where we are drafting our top 5 best 90s cartoons. I'm on the panel. Joshua Ling of Comic Talk is also on the panel, as well as Paige Blackcloud and Justin Jordan, also on the panel as well, drafting our top 5 best 90s cartoons. And then Comics for Education, I'll be moderating, but bringing 3 educators that utilize comics in the classroom, Drew being one of them, Ambrosia, also of Comic Talk, being another, and then Sarah Zitney as our third educator. So that is Sunday, July 26th at 2 a.m. at the
Not 2 p.m., not 2 a.m.
Sorry, 2 p.m. Sorry, 2 p.m., not 2 a.m. at the Shiley Special Events Suite. So we got a lot going on. Pay attention to social media. Like, comment, subscribe, follow. Keep in touch. Keep track of everything. That's pretty much it. Support your local comic shop. Support your local public libraries. Definitely follow Ethan at Virgo Blade and Drew at Drew X Deficit. That's pretty much it. Keep liking comics, keep loving comics, keep talking about it, spread the love, more so than the hate, and we'll all have a good time. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you everybody out there. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been another episode of Comic Talk for the week of July 16th, 2026. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Peace out.
Super fast, gotta beat the boss and get the loot, 'cause it's the king.